Welcome to Lifestyle Buzz Today with Orlando. Fresh, innovative, entertaining talk about topics we are all in one way or another involved with. And now here's your host, Orlando Burgos.
Well, hello, friends. And welcome to another edition of the Connection to Better Living, or the antidote for boring radio. Yesterday, I did something that I've been planning on doing for a long time, and that is to post on Facebook and LinkedIn and all social media a first sheet of what the topics are going to be for the Sunday show, okay? And yesterday, I'm beginning to get scared about maybe being able to see the future. But one of the things that I wrote was topics for Sunday, July 21st, 2024. We are living in strange times. Why do we feel to be such experts of everything? Are we really in control? I mean, plus something on we're going to be talking about some food and stuff like that. But nonetheless, like Mike and I were talking about, it started last week with the assassination of Donald Trump.
Assassination attempt.
The attempted assassination, okay? And then today, Joe Biden quits the race. And we're forgetting one thing that is what actually symbolizes the spirit of America, and that is our freedom of choice. You know, last week, some nut decided that that Trump was not the right candidate, so he tried to kill him. Today, forced by his own party, Joe Biden quits the race. So what happened to us, the citizens, being the owners of the country and the ones that make the choice? Michael?
Well, okay. I mean, not to put my head in the lion's mouth here, but I take issue with those two statements. First of all, we're not necessarily sure why that particular individual attempted to assassinate former President Trump. Secondly, I do agree with you that, yes, it seems to me that there is a groundswell of people, elite donors and others, who are calling on President Biden to step aside. So I do think that and ultimately, I think he made the choice under great pressure and duress.
Under huge pressure, yeah.
But I mean, he's a big boy. I mean, he's been in politics for 50 years. I mean, he could have made the decision to stay if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, it's been an historic 8 days. And one of the the amazing things is, as you get older, you realize when you are living through history. Because when you're a young person, you really have no, kind of concept of that. You're too involved in the moment.
Yeah.
But I mean, going back to, like that photo we saw of former President Trump being, fist in the air, face bloody, defiance on his face with the American flag in the background. No matter how you feel about the man, that's one of the most historic moments in American history.
Yeah.
So we do live in interesting times.
It is. I mean, I think that everybody, all citizens, all 350 million of us, need to step back a little bit and reflect on the times and get back into a reality thinking mode. We'll be right back.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-745-9090. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-745-9090. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-745-9090.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center, may not be available in all states.
All right. It seems that we have made a turn from living our lives to wanting everyone else to change to our ways in many cases. Neighbors are no longer as neighborly as people were years ago. And it's not because they don't like you. It's that people today just have lost trust on humanity type, and that's the way I look at it. People are leery of what goes on outside their doors. Just think about it. In many cases, if you see a strange car parked in front of your house, you don't assume that there's a person visiting somebody else in the neighborhood. It's like,
why is he parked in front of my house?
Yeah, and why on my side of the street? Huh?
So rude.
And you know what? I have gotten into that habit sometimes. I look at a car out the window and I like, what's going on here? Then I see a guy with flowers going to my neighbor, So the fact is that for some reason, where we used to be a very self-assured, solid, secure nation, we have become worrisome. We have kind of lost our balance as far as assurance for ourselves. We're all scared. I mean,
You've definitely opened a can of worms there, Orlando, because I study this extensively, this phenomenon in college, and there's a lot of very convincing academic research that all this can be laid at the feet of the media.
Yeah.
Think about the kind of media that you consumed growing up compared to the kind of media that's popular in the culture now. Mm-hmm. And at the root of any entertainment is conflict, either and so. As media becomes, a little bit more, I would say, graphic and confrontational and sensational, you hear more about bad things than you hear about good things.
Yeah. Well, I tell you something. I remember, I'm old enough to go back eons.
Orlando's 38 years old.
That's it. And in my 38 years, it used to be that you saw programming on television, the Andy Griffin, the whole thing, and then the news at 6, boom, or the news at 11, and mom and dad would close the night at whatever with the national anthem for the new closing of the news. Okay, and they did cover national and international stuff, the whole thing, but not in the sense that is being done since, I guess, CNN started the 24-hour news cycle many, many years ago, Ted Turner. And since then, what happened last Saturday was on 24 hours a day for days and days and days. Now, something else happened today with Joe Biden leaving the race. So now they're splitting the image between the dregs of what happened last week to the new news, and this is going to go on forever and ever and ever.
Never going to stop.
But people are sold on that. Not only the news. If people would just kind of like say, okay, I have a job to do, I've got to work, but here's the problem.
The media comes to you now. Instead of you have to go to the media where you have to go actually pick up the newspaper or flip on the TV. Yeah. Now, you get these little push notifications and, and from, like, yeah, again, that could be good from like the AP or Reuters, from like respected down the middle journalists, but also you're getting push notifications from your Uncle John on Facebook here saying that Kamala Harris has horns. And so, or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that's just it. And you know what is, there's a saturation of weariness out there. I'll tell you this really quick story. The other night we went out to dinner, family type of thing, and I got to this place, and the parking lots at some of these places are getting narrower and narrower, and then somebody parks a big car. So anyway, make the long story short, I parked a little cockeyed. Okay, I admit it. Okay, I was able to get out because my car is small, but all of a sudden the waiter knows me. And she came over and said, "Can you please park your car a little bit straighter because somebody needs to park next to you?" Well, when I came in, there was another car there that got out. Anyway, this guy could not fit in there. Okay, so I walked out. I'm an old guy. I'm not like an imposing figure. I wasn't wearing a tank top with all muscles all over it, and I wasn't wearing a Uzi, that's for sure. And this guy, when he saw me come out, it was like he saw the devil. He was like, "I am so sorry." I mean, I saw the guy was younger than me, but all of a sudden I saw him like shrink into like little guydom, and it shocked me. It shocked me, Mike, because you know what?
Wait, that's interesting. I want to probe that. Did it shock you because you thought he would be more confrontational?
No, it shocked me because he was so apologetic.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I even told him, I said, no. I should have parked much better. I'm sorry. Well, we're kind of he went to explain that he was there for an anniversary, their wedding anniversary, as a matter of fact, but he was like he was afraid of me turning around and running him over or something. I don't know what came through me because it really bothered me, the fact that people didn't see me as a human guy that apologized and moved his car, but something dangerous type of thing. That's the way I saw it. And I worried about that. If that's the image that I portray all the time, I'm a business guy. I talk to people all of the time, and I'm wondering, I mean, do I come out as a gruff asshole or? Well, I mean, everybody knows that word. I mean, should I from now on try to curve my attitude? I'm a positive type of guy. I mean, I talk to people. I really try to push what I do and what I'm selling, and and the fact is that never in my life have I cheated anybody out of what's due to them. So I see it as my way. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there wondering, okay, should I spend some time toning things down or reflecting on who I am or whatever? And then I figured, no. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. I moved the car. I parked it right. I even bought him a bottle of wine to celebrate their anniversary.
That was nice of you.
Yeah, well, that's a nice guy.
Well, I mean, maybe Orlando, he was just respecting his elders.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that thing kind of bothered me. So I figured, okay, it's time to all of us need to change a little bit. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 800-785-9618. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-785-9618 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 800-785-9618 right now to schedule your tax-deductible vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-785-9618 now.
No more mold, no more damage, no more outdated old bathroom, no more slipping and hurting, no more stress. Make your ordinary bathroom extraordinary for only $99 per month. New shower, new door, new tub, new wall, new anti-slip technology. Be stress-free. Call 800-973-5411. BCI Bath and Shower is made in America for the highest quality. Ask about our military and senior discounts. Your dream bathroom in as little as one day. First 50 callers save $1,500 on a never clear glass treated door. Call now for free premium color upgrades. 800-973-5411. Call BCI Bath and Shower, the leader in bathroom remodeling. Be smart, safe, and stay a step ahead of inflation with our interest-free financing options. Call 800-973-5411. Love your bathroom with free upgrades. Call 800-973-5411. 800-973-5411.
The old way of living with diabetes is a pain. You've got to remember to do your testing and always need to stick your fingers to test your blood sugar. The new way to live your life with diabetes is with a continuous glucose monitor. Apply a discrete sensor on your body, and it continuously monitors your glucose levels, helping you spend more time in range and freeing you from painful finger sticks. If you are living with type 1 or type 2 diabetes and you use insulin or have had hypoglycemic events, you might be eligible for a CGM through your insurance benefits. U.S. Med partners with over 500 private insurance companies and Medicare. We offer free shipping, 90-day supplies, and we bill your insurance. Call us today for a free benefits check.
800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. 800-989-1361. That's 800-989-1361.
All right. So anyway, we live, again, going back to strangeness. It seems to me that for some reason, we try to push the idea that we are experts at everything. And the only thing that really we are experts at is pick up this gadget, put Google on, and ask the question that you want answers to. Because in reality, if you take this out, a lot of the people will not be able to speak anything, you know? I mean, I've been a pilot for like ever. And I'm the old type of pilot where you learn by the seat of your pants and then you move into technology and so on and so forth. And it cracks me up to hear somebody that bought a computer program and has a simulator in their computer trying to tell me where I make mistakes. And I tell them, you know, I got 28,000 hours of flight time. And I survived very well every single one of them in every single type of, situation. But, they do it because they don't know any different. They think that they know, but they don't. I like to actually, at one point, put one of those guys in the cockpit of a 727 or something and see what they do. It's not the same. But the same goes with just about everything else. It's okay if you want to change the spark plugs in your car. But if you have a fuel problem that you need to diagnose, you cannot go to the store and buy yourself one of the little gadgets that you stick in a computer and then try to fix it. Because half of the time you don't even have the tools good enough to go in depth of that. There is kind of a fear of saying, Mike, I need for you to help me fix my computer, or like I would like to connect what I do here to my house in case I cannot come over. It's like, I wouldn't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I'm sure that if I go to Fry's or whatever, one of those places, somebody's going to sell me $10,000 worth of wires. And then I look at the stuff and I go like, okay, now what? So, and that's what I find is that people, for some reason, need to validate the fact that they know better of everything than anyone else. Am I?
Well, no, I think you're right. I mean, I think that, I think that, some people, they enjoy showing their quote unquote intellectual superiority over others, even sometimes if it's misfounded and misguided. I think there's a lot of people that have a lot of fear of technology and anxiety about technology. But I mean, ask somebody rather than initially go out to a professional, because like you said, I mean, the professional is going to try to sell you something. Yeah. And I can't tell you how many times, I deal with, like a lot of technology in my career. And so people oftentimes reach out to me in my personal life with help with that. And I'm more than willing to help with that. And oftentimes the fix is way more simpler than people, think it's going to be. And also, you're not going to break anything. Like people are very, they don't want to mess around with their computer because they think they're going to break it. You're not going to break it. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of smart people design these systems to be kind of impervious.
I think the thing is the fact that there are times when you try to do something, like I, for one, if I want to change the spark plugs on my car, I've done it millions of times, okay? And invariably, if I do millions plus one now, it's going to be the same. I bring out my entire rollaway toolbox. I get every screwdriver, every wrench, every Allen wrench, when you don't even need Allen wrenches, but I have them there just in case. And I get myself full of grease from my hands to my elbows to my shirt.
Because you like doing it.
I enjoy it. Yeah. And it takes me forever,
Yeah, but when you're done, though, don't you feel good about yourself about accomplishing that task?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I do. The thing is that I should actually be practical at some times and say, I'm not a mechanic. My mechanic would charge me $100 and he'll do it fast, professional, not break anything else on the car. So that's what I'm thinking is that we need to open up and just give Caesar what belongs to Caesar and, do what we do best.
Well, how about this? How about if I come over and fix your computer, will you change my spark plugs?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Deal.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-559-4185. 800-559-4185. 800-559-4185. That's 800-559-4185.
These are the sounds of Colombo's Italian Steakhouse.
Look at this ribeye. You see that ribeye?
Fantastic. Incredible.
This is delicious.
Sausage and lentil soup, special today. Very, very good.
Look at this garlic bread. Best garlic bread I ever had.
And here's Vic Perino, owner and operator of Colombo's.
A lot of the Italian recipes are my uncle's own recipes. We have a lot of people coming back for his hand-rolled lasagna. We make it basically from scratch. I think ours is exceptional.
Here's Vic on what makes Colombo's different than any other Italian restaurant.
The other thing that sets us apart from other Italian restaurants is that we're an Italian steakhouse. We specialize in our steaks.
Plus, there's more.
They're coming for a lot of reasons to value. Their value per dollar that they're getting, plus coming into a neighborhood-friendly place. So, sometimes we're actually accused of being the melting pot of Eagle Rock.
Colombo's in Eagle Rock on Colorado Boulevard, 323-254-9138. Manja.
Attention real estate investors. Do you need cash immediately? If you own one or multiple rental properties, you can use your equity to get cash out fast. The best part is we don't need tax returns or even a good credit score. At America's Loan Source, we are not a bank and we don't have bank rules. We make the decisions to loan you money, and there's no limit how much we can give you. Some clients have gotten as much as $500,000 or more within days. Use the money any way you want. If you own one rental property or 100 and COVID has left you in a cash crunch, we can help you turn your equity into fast cash. Call now for details and close in as little as 10 days and get the cash you need. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. That's 800-353-1760.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free gift. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Hi, everyone. This is Ron Say. I played baseball for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Chicago Cubs, and Oakland A's. My Dodger teams won 4 National League pennants and a World Series. Now I am tackling a new challenge. I am hosting a new sports show called We'll See About That. We will look at the aspects of sports, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and much more. Plus, you will be able to get my honest opinions on the big stories of the day. Join me for We'll See About That, Saturdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Time right here on crntalk.com.
All right, I want to remind you of one thing. If you're not listening to CRN 24/7, I'm gonna have to discipline you.
Yeah, you're a sucker if you're not listening 24/7.
I know. I mean, like, seriously, how can you survive? Anyway, we hear a lot, and we are all very much involved in the idea of protecting our privacy. And I mean, it gets to the point where you know people, well, we need voter ID, oh no, hey, that's bad for people's privacy and whatnot. Horse doo-doo. You know what? Seriously? I never heard so much horse manure in my life. There is no such thing anymore as privacy. And look at what just happened not long ago. I never heard of an outfit called CrowdStrike. Have you?
Yeah, I was aware of them. Yeah,
I had never.
They're like not necessarily consumer products. It's mostly behind the scenes products.
Well, just the same though. They had a hiccup at one of their things.
They sure did. Yeah.
And they shut down airlines, hospitals, banks, broadcasting. Yeah, everything. You know, the London Stock Exchange and the whole thing. And it makes me wonder, okay, what if all of a sudden somebody in that outfit goes and throws water in their computers and blows the whole mess up? Boom. I mean, you can actually end up having a bunch of plastic cards that mean nothing anymore because you cannot reach the banks or whatever, So is globalization really that big of a deal? What do you think?
I do. I think it's huge, especially for developed nations. For developing nations, globalization has lifted millions out of poverty and increased the standard of living for many people, who would not necessarily have that situation.
Yep.
In terms of, one single file, which is what happened here, is one single file and one single update package and one single push notification to these security systems. That's what screwed everything up. And it was fixed within hours. So I don't imagine a time, fingers crossed, that we'll have something similar that's going to, really wreak havoc for weeks, if not months. Mm-hmm. But you need to be prepared. Well, you need to be prepared for situations like this. You need to have cash on hand. You need to be able to, put gas in your car with cash. Mm-hmm. And, you need to you just have to have that in the back of your mind.
I come from a background where I started business way before the internet was what it is today. As a matter of fact, I was flying from here to Alaska to do a show, not Alaska, I was on Alaska Airlines going to Seattle to do a series of shows for travel. And I was reading about this miracle coming up. Oh my God, the internet. And I was reading about it and I go like, oh, yeah, I got to get on top of that, Now I'm going to, we did so well without it. See, you don't have that experience because you grew up with it.
Not necessarily. No, I'm older than you think, Orlando. No, I grew up. The internet kind of really like when I was a teenager, and so I think there's three things. There's before internet, there's dial-up internet, and then there's broadband internet. Mm-hmm. So dial-up internet came out when I was about like 11 or 12, and it was so slow you really couldn't do anything on it. Like the only thing you could do on it was go on message boards and yell at people. It wasn't until broadband came out when I was a teenager, like a late teenager, where it had the kind of power and just utility to actually do things. And interestingly enough, Orlando, I just saw a photograph of a Time magazine cover from 1998. And the cover was "The End of the American Mall: How Online Shopping Will Change Everything." And I remember when that came out, everybody's like, "Are you kidding me? No one's going to want to put their credit card on the internet and then expect that a package to show up at your house via the mail and a couple days later with what you ordered." No one trusted that. Mm-hmm. Now look, Amazon's the biggest company in the world. Yeah. Malls are closing left and right.
The thing is, though, figure it out. For the sake of one humongous global reaching company, it's actually putting a whole lot of people out of work too, because the malls employ human beings. So there is greed on the side of one big company. I mean, this guy Bezos, he gets richer and richer and richer by doing absolutely nothing, by billions every day. And yet, I mean, how much can a person have?
Wow, Orlando, I never thought you'd be like a wealth-sharing socialist over here. I thought that...
No. I'm not a socialist by any means. But what I am is I worry about the human factor.
And how fast it changes. Automation, because normally, for the Industrial Revolution, and the manufacturing that we got in this country was like 100 years. Mm-hmm. And now we've seen over the 40 years, the economy completely change. And people think, 40 years is a long time. But historically, when you think about it, it's not a long time at all.
Yeah. I started the travel business while I was flying for a living. Okay. And at the time, there was no such thing as internet. We used to go to shows. We used to travel to places to learn about the destinations and all of that. And we sold without having to go through internet to agents by going there, knocking on their doors, by many means. There was a lot of means at the time. There was a lot of magazines that people in the travel industry subscribed to, and we got the news that way, you know. And business was fun then, seriously. The internet has created just a bunch of experts that can't sell anything anymore because now they're competing with the minds of the consumer, and the consumer always knows best. And so, you know, it's difficult, you know, so I mean, why don't we take a break and then we go to dinner?
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-475-7125. 800-475-7125. That's 800-475-7125.
Attention diabetics and weight loss patients. Bob Paff here from Tort Defenders. Are you or a loved one suffering complications from Ozempic, Wegovy, Rybelsus, Mounjaro, or Zepbound? These medications have been linked to serious gastrointestinal illnesses and other severe side effects, leading to hospitalization or permanent injuries. If you've been hospitalized after taking these medications, you're not alone. We understand your pain and frustration and will stop at nothing to help you get the compensation you deserve for your suffering. If you've been diagnosed with gastroparesis, chronic vomiting, deep vein thrombosis, DVT, or experienced intestinal blockage requiring surgery, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call the Ozempic helpline and find out immediately if you qualify. Get the justice you deserve. Call 888-288-LAW1 today for a free consultation. That's 888-288-LAW1. Time is limited to file, so don't wait. Call 888-288-LAW1 today.
All right, after all the discussion we've had about troubles in our nation and the worldwide and everything else, it has made me hungry. And the fact is that we need to eat. Mike and I are both foodies, so, you know, we love it. So when you plan to go out, you see dinner in your horizons, how do you go about it? I mean, there's many people that just go, well, let's just hit McDonald's or Jack in the Box or whatever, you know, blah, 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 blah. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into the dining scene that we don't know. So how do you choose a restaurant?
Well, you know, it's usually, you know, based on past and previous experience with that restaurant. And that's one thing that I really want to start to get out of is that, and I've been doing it actually recently, is trying new restaurants. Because it's so easy, you know, to be like, well, I had Chipotle, and Chipotle is pretty good. Let's get Chipotle again. So, you know, I like a lot of different kinds of food. That's one of the, you know, we've talked about this before, is the great part about Los Angeles is there's so much great ethnic food around here.
It's great here.
And, you know, really great Lebanese food. And, you know, Zankou chicken. You know, I love Zankou chicken.
Okay.
But there's a million, you know, not Zankou chickens that do shawarma and so I tried one. I tried, you know, a shawarma house, you know, and it was delicious. Yeah. So I'd like to try to broaden my horizons a little bit more and try new things. I don't eat fast food, very rarely. And to tell you what, Orlando, you know what I've really come to think is that I need to start eating more Indian food.
Indian food?
Indian food. I had Indian food with some family members about a week ago, and it's one of those things where whenever I eat Indian food, I really like it, and I tell myself, I need to eat more of this, but then I never really do.
Because the curries, you like the curries?
Oh, man. We had this lamb curry that was so good, and this marinated tandoori chicken, and of course, with the garlic naan. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just so good. I just never think about, doing it, and so.
Okay, name me one restaurant. What? Not restaurant, okay. One food that you very seldom think about, and then when you finally sit at a table at a place, you go, shit, I've been missing something here,
Indian food, for sure. Yeah,
Really?
Indian food. It was Thai food for a long time because, I mean, I would probably like in my 20s. I think the first time I had Thai food was when I was like 21. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, man, I got to start. In fact, I'm ordering some right now. Yeah, it's probably Indian food right now. What about you?
For me, I'm a meat eater.
Yeah.
Okay, so just about anything that has, like for me, like if I'm, something that just never pops into my mind, Greek food.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it just never comes up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
But, I mean, the times that I have eaten, I go like, well, yeah.
The kebabs and
there's some
nice rice.
So Italian food is another one that I'm not, I mean, I know it's there. I enjoy it. But it seems to me that every time that I end up at an Italian restaurant, we all share a pizza. And I'm like, it's got to be more than that,
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to, well, also Orlando, too, is that like, Italian, it's not Italian food we're getting here. It's Italian-American food. Mm-hmm. And, if what you get in Italy is not what you get out here. It's a lot of red sauce here. It's not so much, out there. And, yeah, I also, I like Italian food, but I can't stand Parmesan cheese. And it seems everywhere I go, every Italian restaurant, everything's got Parmesan cheese.
Yeah. Do you ever worry about the types of restaurants like table service, like buffet style, like plate service? Do you ever think about the differences?
No, I mean, if it's a buffet, I'm going to like it. But no,
300 items in a.
And I'm not one of those people either, and I think this is because we're from Los Angeles. If I go to a restaurant that's got a C grade, it's all the better.
That's it.
That's where the real flavor is.
Really?
Yeah. Especially if you're going to go to like to San Gabriel Valley and get some dim sum or some Chinese food, Szechuan style Chinese food. That's where the flavor is.
Sometimes that's one thing. Like one of my daughters, she goes like, she's a big Yelp person, and before we go out somewhere, she has to do her research. I mean, it was like, and I'm like, we're not moving there. I mean, we're just going to go there and eat. And if we don't like it, we go out,
I'll look at the menu, but I won't look at reviews.
Oh, yeah, no.
Not Yelp reviews. I mean, if it's written up like in the Los Angeles Times or something like that, I'll or Eater or something like that. But like open source, crowdsourced reviews from Yelp, no. No, I don't put too much stock on that.
No, because you know what? It happens the same thing that happens in the travel business, where you get a bad review because you ended up at a place that's supposed to have wildlife and you didn't see 18 species of monkeys in the first 5 minutes. Some people are like, oh, it's hardly worth coming here, They think that nature should be there for them, And so that's the thing that I see in reviews all the time, is that if they happen to forget their forks or plastic knives, the food is immaterial.
Or they go to like an Ethiopian restaurant and they're like, it's so weird that we have to eat with our hands. I didn't like it. Like, that's what you do. I mean, come on.
I know, you have to transport yourself. Let's take a break.
glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808. You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Attention! This is a public notice from the Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, you may be eligible for disability benefits from Social Security. Receiving benefits is your right. If you suffer from physical or mental disability, whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied, we can help. We'll evaluate your situation and deal with Social Security on your behalf. Best of all, there's no fee until you receive your benefits. Remember, we only get paid if you win your case. There are many reasons and conditions that may make you eligible for disability benefits. Many of them you may not be aware of. So if you're disabled and unable to work, call now to get started with your free, no-obligation consultation.
800-559-4185. 800-559-4185. 800-559-4185. That's 800-559-4185.
All right. Michael, we are seeing a live movie that, in the making here. I'm not going to ask you because your politics are your politics and mine are mine, the whole thing. But the fact is that Joe quit the race, but he did not quit the presidency.
Correct.
So, he's still going to be the president. He's not going to abdicate. He's not going to quit.
Yeah, he's got about 6 months.
Yeah. So where do you see this whole thing going? There's got to be this. I guess now the thing is that the convention is coming up for the Democrats.
Yeah.
So Kamala's going to be over there. I don't see her as the right candidate.
Okay.
Nothing to do with skin color, nothing to do with gender, nothing to do with anything other than the fact that she has a bad record from even when she was here, the Attorney General in California.
I think yeah, I think that's one's view on her record, I think, is dependent on that person's worldview. Mm-hmm. I just think it's very interesting. I think it's, this has never happened in my lifetime. I mean, the last time it happened was 1968. Very different circumstances in 1968, where you had, the tumult of the Vietnam War, which fractured the Democratic Party, not to mention, how civil rights also fractured the Democratic Party in itself. You had, George McGovern running around. You had George Wallace running around. You had Hubert Humphrey, who was Johnson's VP, who they did not get along in the New York RFK. And I mean, I think most people would agree that RFK probably would have won had he not been assassinated in 1968. I'm seeing a lot of people compare these two times, and it's, I think, not necessarily an apt comparison. What was going on in 1968 and what was going on now. 1968 is a seminal year in American history for all sorts of reasons, and determining war and race and class and everything like this. This to me, in my personal view, it just. The Democratic Party's terrified of seeing another Trump administration. And so I think Joe Biden felt that he could not, and those around him finally realized that he's not the best candidate to beat former President Donald Trump. And I think most Democrats will unite behind Kamala because they do think that she can beat Donald Trump. So, but like I said, this is all dependent on one's worldview.
Yeah, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of being a citizen, not a particular party member or anything. I mean, I do my politics very quietly. I mean, I don't put flags in front of my house. I don't do banners or stickers in my car or anything like that, because I believe in the privacy of my choice.
Yeah, I mean, I was raised like that too. I was raised like you don't talk about politics, you don't talk about religion.
Yeah, I mean, just you respect other people's thing. The only thing is, though, what I do worry is that today the environment, the people are not as thick-skinned as they were in '68. The mentality of many voters is doesn't really meet reality up to a point, because
there's far more.
They live in La La Land.
Yeah, they do. I think people. Well, I don't know. Some of those hippies that were running around 1968 had the same kind of maximalist positions that a lot of these kids run around today do.
Yeah. Well,
like you said, interesting times.
Interesting times, and we need to pray for our country. That's all I gotta say. Have a great time. Enjoy yourselves. See you next week.